Good day, class. Today we will be examining this topic, wiring system. Wiring system. This topic have to do with electrical wiring connections. It involves electrical connections, accessories, and special arrangements. Cables. Of course, I mentioned connections here. I'm talking about termination and other things. And sometimes special conditions for purpose of safety. So for wiring system, we have different types of wiring system. So now we consider the connection, we consider the accessories in a special arrangement manner, cable, and special conditions. So all these combined together determines the type of system we are going to use. Types of wiring system. The first one is what we call bare conductor wiring system. In this method, the conductor has no insulator. There is no mechanical protection for the conductor. The conductor is exposed, naked. So in bare conductor, where do we use it? It is mainly used in two major areas. Number one, bare conductor is used for overhead wiring system. Transmission lines is bare conductor. Distribution line is also what? Bare conductor. So overhead system makes use of what? Bare conductor. And the second area where you can use bare conductor is what we call earthing. Earthing connections. In earthing connections, we also make use of bare conductor for pen conductor in the transformer and in maintenance-free earthing system. We make use of bare conductor. That is bare conductor wiring system. You may ask, technically, when we are talking about bare conductor, I said the cables are not insulated. However, in overhead wiring system, the cables are insulated with what we call air. The separation of the cable, line 1, line 2, line 3, and high tension line, or line 1, line 2, line 3, and neutral in distribution line, the cables are insulated with air. A-I-R. The second one is all insulated wiring system. all insulated wiring system. In all insulated wiring system, we are talking about surface wiring system. Of course, we'll use the word all insulated because the type of cables here determines what we use. The first point here is that the cables are insulated, not naked. Insulated. We have PVC cable, polyethylene chloride cable, PVC. We have rubber sheeted cable. They all come into all insulated wiring system. So the use of PVC, and for domestic electrical installation work, we make use of PVC cable. Why? Because of its ambient temperature. The ambient temperature is above, it should not exceed 80 degrees. Should not exceed 80 degrees. While rubber sheeted cable cannot withstand up to 80 degrees. So rubber sheeted is good for fan electrical work because the more it receives water contact, the mechanical protection gets stronger. So for all insulated wiring system, surface wiring system explain it better. And I said special arrangement. So when it comes to practical class, we are going to see how the system is being done. We have systematic approach, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 to follow. The first thing to do, so we are going to do it when we get there, when we are doing practical. I'm just trying to tell us about different type of wiring system. So this is all insulated wiring system. The third one is what we call floor ducting wiring system. Floor ducting wiring system is also a special wiring system that the cables arrangement are laid on the floor. However, with a dot, you can see floor ducting, a dot. So mostly used for industrial setting. So we have this method, maybe, for example, a workshop. So machines are arranged in maybe straight form. Beside it, we can have our dots being buried along the floor for each machine to be powered from it. So the cable will be laid inside the dots and covered up. This is mostly used for industrial setting. We have another method, trunking wiring system. In trunking wiring system, the trunk, here the dots can be PVC or galvanized. The same thing in trunking wiring system. The trunk can also be PVC or galvanized. So galvanized material. This can be both domestic and industrial. Instead of doing all insulated wiring system whereby you lay the cable on the surface of the wall and anybody that comes in will see the cable, we can also lay the cable using trunking. The trunking comes in first, then you put the cable inside the trunk. So everybody that comes into the building, they will not see the cable. They will only see the PVC of the trunk. So this is trunking wiring system. Mind you, the connections is the key, are the skills that you require. The lighting point connection, the socket outlet connection, the arrangement must follow IEE regulations. And these are the things that we will carry out in our practical class. You will see the level of sockets from floor to where it will be, mostly from 300 mm above ground level to maximum of 600 mm. And then for our switch, from 1,200 mm above ground level. So you can see all these things we have to keep to standard for all the arrangements. So these are the things that come to play. So I've talked about bare conductor, all insulated, floor ducting, trunking, and then we also have what we call underground wiring system. Underground wiring system. So for underground wiring system, of course, from number 2 point, from all insulated cable to floor ducting to trunking, we are still making use of PVC cable. Now, in underground wiring system, we are talking about armor cable. Here, armor cable are used. So the system is underground. Unlike overhead, the cable are laid inside the ground. Inside the ground. That is why we have armor cable, underground wiring system. Now, these are the types of wiring system that we have. Now, factors. I want to talk about factors to be considered for wiring system. So what will be your guide? In any system, in any wiring system you want to do, there are some factors that you have to put in measure. There are factors that we have to put in measure that you have to consider. So before I move to this, there is something I call general factors in design. You consider general factors in design. 1, safety. 2, security. And 3, cost. However, this is general. It applies to all fields of electrical system. These 3 factors: safety, security, and cost. However, in wiring system, it is more than 3. The first one is the types of building. You must consider the type of building so that it will determine the type of wiring system you want to use. For instance, residential building is different from factory. Factory is different from an hospital. Now, we consider the type of building because the type of building sometimes determine types of loads. And in this type of load, you must consider load capacity. You consider the load capacity. So, it's a residential building. So, which type of load are you expecting? Domestic loads. And in this domestic load, you look, the maximum load for domestic is in 2 ways, either the cooker units or the AC. So, compared to a factory where we have 10 machines, 20 machines, 30 machines, so from there you can see that you have different types of wiring systems. So, I cannot use ordinary surface wiring system or insulated wiring system. Yes, sometimes you can combine the system of wiring system. Number 3, you consider future extension stroke alteration. Now, you consider future expansion of the load. Okay, in this type of building, it's residence. 100 arm protective device is okay, fine. But you have to think a bit. Next 2 years, the other occupier of the building, of the next apartment may call. So 100 amps, can it serve 4 flats? No. So you consider future extension. Sometimes they can alter the design. After, they can alter some parts of the building. So these are the things that you must consider. Number 4, you consider special conditions like fumes or dampness. Now, you cannot use PVC cable in a gaseous area or in filling station or in fuel storage facility. So what type of wiring system are you going to use? So we are going to use special wiring system for that comes with what we call mineral insulated sheeted cable. So this is what we are going to make use of because of what? Possibility of fire outbreak. Now, in damp area where we have a lot of water, what will we use? We make use of rubber sheeted cable because the more water touches the cable, the better the mechanical protection. Number 5, we consider the fabric to cut away, especially in residential work. Do not damage the building. So that is why when we are breaking the walls, in order for us to lay our pipe, we must do it with consciousness, not just anyhow. You have, first of all, plan your work. So to add the last one, we have what we call light stroke heavy gauge conduit system. Light, today we have what we call PVC conduits for pipes. Heavy, we have galvanized pipe. Mostly in those days when PVC is not available, to wire just a 3-bedroom or duplex, because of the decking, it can take you 3 months. You have to use special machines to bend, to cut the pipes, the galvanized pipe. But today we are using light method because of PVC. So we have bending spring to bend our pipes. So in practical class, we are going to see full demonstration. So in conduit system, because of this, that is why the fabric to be cut away, breaking of the wall must be done neatly in light and heavy gauge. So you don't break the wall anyhow, because if you damage the building, it's going to affect the strength of the building. And then number 6, you consider the cost of the wiring system. You consider the cost, and above all, what will sell your job, what will make you professional is number 7, the neatness of the job. You must consider the neatness of the job. And this is what will make you a professional person. So, in all this, the type of building, the type of load, stroke load capacity, the future extension and alteration, special conditions to consider foams or dampness, and then the fabric to be cut away, and the cost. The cost is very key. Let me just say, it's just unfortunate that our system in this country has made the first thing to be the last. In area of design and in engineering, safety is number one, security of that your design of your job is number two, and cost is number three. But unfortunately, cost will determine how far safety will be, but it's bad. Why? What did I mean? By the time you want to do a wiring connection for 3-bedroom flats, standard one in ID will, and your bill is saying, okay, material and every other thing with workmanship 2.5 million. Another person may come, the same house, may give a bill of 1 million naira. Now, you can see now, protective devices to use will not be the same, the cable to use will not be the same, and in all these things. And when the standard has fallen down, safety is not guaranteed. Now, the last one, the neatness of the job. The neatness of the job. Most of the time, I do tell my students that it is only a neat person that can produce a neat job. So a neat technician, a neat technologist, a neat engineer produces neat job. So if someone is not neat, what do you expect? The job will not be neat. And if you bring in a president from any country and you bring in just an ordinary person, they see the same thing. The neatness. Oh, who has done this job? Very neat. The arrangement is okay. Oh, the cables are well straight. That is what they will see. They don't know the connections. So what they see first is what will market your job. So these are the factors to be considered when carrying out any wiring system. You consider the type of building. Even neatness is very key. The type of load, extension, be it for overhead system, there is neatness, arrangement. The pole that you see is 45 meters apart, each other, 45 meters. Then the arrangement, you consider it in that time, the neatness of the job, or underground, the same thing for trunking, neatness, floor ducting, neatness. The way you arrange, the way you lay your cable are very, very important. Today's class, wiring system. What are we talking about? Overall system of everything. Overall system of everything. We are talking about the cable, the arrangement of accessory, the type of material to use, and the type of method to use so that you can achieve best results. In electrical, everything must comply to safety. Safety first, safety always. Thank you.